NFL fans, what is going on? Welcome back to the J All Day NFL show. Today, I'm going to be breaking down for you my top 10 NFL quarterbacks going into the 2025 season. The schedule just got released. I'm really excited for 2025. So let's get into the top 10 quarterbacks going into 2025. All right, NFL fans, here we go. We're going to start with number 10, work our way up to number 1. Who is it going to be at number 10? So, for me, it's Jared Goff, right? I think he had a really good regular season last year, right? Very, very, very good. He's got a great supporting cast there in Detroit. It does suck that Ben Johnson has moved on to the Chicago Bears. Jared Goff is a little limited in what he can do in the pocket. Not the most athletic guy in the world, but he's got pretty decent arm strength. He's got great wide receivers, great overall weapons there in Detroit. Not really the best guy outside, in my opinion. Definitely more of an effective quarterback in the dome there in Detroit. So, for me, coming in at number 10 is Jared Goff. He's got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, he's got Sam Laporta and Sonic and Knuckles at the running back position, and a very good offensive line that did lose a few pieces. So it'll be really interesting to see how Jared Goff bounces back after that horrific performance in the playoffs at home versus Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. That's kind of why he's at number 10 right now. Regular season Jared Goff, exceptionally talented, but in the playoffs so far, it remains to be seen. So, number 10 on my top quarterbacks going into 2025 is Detroit Lions quarterback Jared Goff. Coming in at number 9 is Matt Stafford for the Rams. Obviously, Matt Stafford is getting up there in age a little bit. He still has killer arm strength. One of the best throwers of the football that we've seen in the past 10 or 15 years, man. That arm strength and accuracy is right up there with any quarterback in the NFL. But this is another guy that is very pocket dependent, right? If the play starts to break down, he's definitely not a guy that's going to be rolling out of the pocket, making plays with his legs, rolling out of the pocket, finding guys over the middle of the field. I just don't think that's Matt Stafford's game at this point in his career, right? Overall, I mean, Matt Stafford has had a tremendous career, right? He's got a Super Bowl ring. He wants to come back one last time, maybe two more times before he hangs it up. This Rams team has a very good young defense, right? And they brought in Davante Adams to replace Cooper Kupp. Puka Nacua and Davante Adams should be a great outlet for him in addition to guys like Kyren Williams, right? So can Matt Stafford take it to the next level, make another big run in the playoffs here in 2025? It remains to be seen. I definitely think there's some guys that are a little bit more complimentary, right? Matt Stafford is going to be dependent on that offensive line. If that offensive line is not very effective this year, I think Matt Stafford's overall play will be affected because of that. And that's why Matt Stafford comes in at number 9 overall for me. Still one of the best throwers of the football in the entire NFL. He's an exceptional talent, very cerebral guy. And if there's guys that are schemed open, he is going to find them, no doubt about it. I like what he's doing there in LA, but Father Time is undefeated, and that's why he's going to come in at number 9, because it's going to happen at some point where those throws he was able to make earlier in his career, he's not able to make anymore. Just kind of look what happened to Aaron Rodgers over the last couple years. So that's why Matt Stafford comes in at number 9. All right, NFL fans, next up on our list of top 10 quarterbacks going into 2025, at number 8 is Houston Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud. Jeff definitely went through that sophomore slump a little bit last year for sure. You know, a lot of injuries to the wide receiver room, poor offensive line play. I bet on them a lot earlier in the season, so I watched a ton of Texans games last year. And they were behind the sticks all the time. It was always second and long, first and 15. Like, it was really, really hard to watch. Laremy Tunsil gets traded to the Commanders, so this offensive line is probably not going to be great again next year, in my opinion. The Texans, however, did add a bunch of weapons at the wide receiver room, bringing in Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins, both of those studs from Iowa State. tremendous talents in my opinion. Jaden Higgins is one of my favorite players from this year's past draft. I definitely think that's going to be really, really positive for CJ Stroud moving forward. They just got to figure out the offensive line, right? I think with a good offensive line, CJ Stroud can be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. But it's a team game at the end of the day, right? You can't just make this list solely on individual talents, like how he's going to react with the offensive line, his ability to make plays when the offensive line breaks down, and really carry a team when this offensive line's not really good. And we've seen last year that he wasn't really capable of doing that last year too much. They played not great football, in my opinion, right? Especially against the better teams in the NFL. So, CJ Stroud comes in at number 8 for me. I do think he's one of the more cerebral quarterbacks in the league. B plus athleticism. He's not as athletic as some of these guys that are a little bit higher up on the list. A little limited what he can do when the play breaks down out of the pocket, right? He's got tremendous accuracy, great over the middle of the field, got the arm strength to throw it outside of the numbers. I love CJ Stroud. And I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it into my top 5 going into 2026. All right, coming in at number 7, people are going to be like, he should be higher, he should be higher. It's Jaden Daniels from the Commanders, right? Okay, 1 year is not enough, right? He did great things in Washington. And if you watch my content, he was my favorite quarterback in that draft class. I liked him more than Drake May. I liked him more than Bo Nix. I liked him more than Caleb Williams. I thought Jaden Daniels was the guy, and he proved me right last year. Zach Ertz had a really good year. Terry McLaurin as well. They're going to be even better this year, adding Laremy Tunsil to that offensive line, adding some running backs to the room, adding Deebo Samuel. Look for him to make another leap forward this year. Right now, I have him at number 7. I like his athleticism, man. He is extremely accurate with the football. He throws an incredible deep ball, man. It's incredible touch. What he did to the Lions on the road in the playoffs last year was absolutely remarkable, right? And he's just outside my top 5. Coming in at number 7 is Jaden Daniels, and he's another guy with a leap forward in 2025, could be a top 5, maybe even pushing top 3 quarterback when it's all said and done this year. I do think the Commanders need a little bit more upgrade on the defensive side of the football, but I do think that Jaden Daniels and this offense with Cliff Kingsbury, the offensive coordinator, are really going to continue to hum along in the NFC East. But are they going to be able to win those big games with that defense? That remains to be seen, in my opinion, right? So, they brought in Josh Connerly Jr. in the draft as well to really revamp the offensive line. So, I'm excited to see what the Commanders can do in year 2 of Jaden Daniels, guys. I'm a huge fan. I absolutely love him. So, moving up to number 6 is the Chargers quarterback, Justin Herbert. He's a guy over the last 4 or 5 years, probably been a top 3, definitely a top 5 quarterback in the regular season. But in the playoffs, not so much. But he's starting to get a team around him. You saw what he was able to accomplish with a guy like Ladd McConkey, right? So they added Omarion Hampton to that offense. So, man, I think the Chargers and Broncos have a serious chance of taking over the title of AFC West champions from the Kansas City Chiefs, man. I mean, Justin Herbert has probably the best arm strength in the NFL. He's an exceptional quarterback. He's big. He's physical. He can throw the deep ball. He throws straight piss missiles, man. They need a real true X wide receiver. We'll see if they can get him that sooner rather than later. But I do like what they did in the draft, adding Omarion Hampton, right? So, Ladd McConkey in year 2. I expect big things from Justin Herbert and a really good defense, right? Very well-coached team. I love Justin Herbert. He is an exceptional talent, just outside my top 5. All right, guys, here it is. Coming up, the J All Day NFL Show Top 5. Top 5! Coming in at number 5. This is where we're going to start to piss some people off, but you know what? I love it. I love it, guys. Coming in at number 5 is Lamar Jackson. Okay? We've seen it year after year in the playoffs. He just can't get it done, guys. He can't get it done in the playoffs, right? For whatever reason, teams just kind of figure him out in the playoffs, right? Kind of limit what he can do with his legs and force him to throw the football in the tight windows. And, there was some drops that kind of held them out of playing the Chiefs, right? So you can't really knock him for that. The difference between 1 and 5 in the NFL, you're talking about, the razor's edge, man. There's not a lot separating these guys. I'm just thinking about it as if we were doing a fantasy draft and I had the number 1 pick, who would I take? Then who would I take next? If I had 5 teams, I think I'd take the other 4 guys ahead of him that I'm going to tell you guys in a little bit. I like Lamar Jackson. I would like him to be a little more accurate with the football, a little bit better decision making. But, he's exceptionally talented, man. What he could do with his legs, I think he relies on his legs a little bit too much in this offense. That has a little bit to do with the offensive coordinator and the scheme as well. Not a ton of weapons on the outside. I like Mark Andrews. I like Isaiah Likely. I like Derrick Henry, but he's not really in the passing game at all. He's kind of a 2-down back. If it's 3rd and long, Derrick Henry's coming off the field. I like Zay Flowers, a little undersized for an X receiver in my opinion. I wish they would have went out and got an X wide receiver like Jaden Higgins, but instead they went Malachi Starks and Mike Green in the draft, which I don't really understand, right? They already have a pretty good defense, right? They need better weapons on offense, in my opinion. It's neck and neck, right? So, number 5 is Lamar Jackson, right? Number 4, my guy, Jalen Hurts, baby. Jalen Hurts comes in at number 4 on our list. He's got all the intangibles you want in a quarterback. He is so highly regarded in that locker room. Guys want to die for him. They want to run through walls for him. They will go to war with Jalen Hurts. And I think sometimes that's more important than to have the best arm accuracy. To be able to, break big plays with your legs like Lamar Jackson. I'd rather Jalen Hurts in my huddle than Lamar Jackson. I really would. I think Jalen Hurts is calm under pressure. He's played his best games of his career on the biggest freaking stages. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl not once but twice. Even in the Super Bowl they lost a few years ago, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. He should have won the MVP in both of those games. He did get the one this year, but he should have won the other one too. He was the best player on the field. It wasn't even close. If it wasn't for the Eagles' defense choking, Jalen Hurts would already have 2 rings. So, if you put Jalen Hurts in your top 3, I wouldn't knock you for that at all whatsoever. I love Jalen Hurts. His ability to throw the deep ball, make plays happen with his legs, the tush push, you name it. He's extremely athletic, pretty cerebral guy. Great checks at the line of scrimmage. Can throw it outside the numbers, over the middle of the field. Does like to throw into tight windows, probably a little more than he should considering his arm strength isn't, top 5 in the NFL. But you got to love him on the field, off the field. You got to really think about if you're playing Madden or you're creating your own team, Jalen Hurts has all the intangibles that I want in an NFL quarterback. He's coachable. His ability to communicate with his teammates is top-notch. That's why Jalen Hurts comes in at number 4 for me. Now, the J All Day top 3. Coming in at number 3, guys, is Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow, man. He's got pinpoint accuracy, great arm strength, super cerebral guy. The only reason that he's not in the top 2 is he's not quite as athletic as Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. But the arm strength, his ability to throw guys open, and he's really good at throwing guys in windows so they don't get destroyed. You know what I mean? That's a huge thing that you need to learn as an NFL quarterback. Shedeur Sanders actually does that really well, and I think he's going to be a little bit better than people think. Is throwing people open, having that anticipation, right? And if it wasn't for that league's worst defense, they're a 13-win team perennially. But the Bengals, with that defense, it's a shit show there in Cincinnati, right? And he's got really good wide receivers, right? T. Higgins and our man Jamar Chase, great weapons. Joe Burrow is, a guy you got to consider if you're starting your own franchise to pick number one. And I think there's nothing on the football field he can't do. Besides maybe break a 75-yard run. Not the most athletic guy in the world. C+ athleticism brings him in at number 3. Number 2 is Josh Allen, guys. And while we're at it, we're going to just do number 1. You know who it is. It's Patrick Mahomes. So Josh Allen, he's got the size. He's got the grit. He's got the determination. He's got it all. He literally, the only thing preventing him from being number 1 is a Super Bowl ring. He could do it all. And he's done it with pretty mediocre wide receivers, let's be honest. If you take a look at the Buffalo Bills in his tenure there, he's not, if you put Josh Allen on the Eagles, they might even be better than they are now. If you give him A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and Saquon Barkley, can you freaking imagine what Josh Allen would be able to accomplish, right? And that's why I have him above Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts, because he could do everything. He could throw the deep ball. He could throw those intermediate routes. He could hum it to the outside the numbers, killer arm strength. He could get you 5 yards, 3 yards, pick up the first down. He could QB sneak it, even though their tush pushes were absolute trash in the playoffs. Call a different play. But anyway, I like Josh Allen, man. Another guy who needs a true X wide receiver. I don't know if they have one on the roster currently. They need an X. They need an X. I love Josh Allen. I don't know how you can have him outside the top 3, in my opinion. Burrow, Hertz, and Lamar Jackson are all interchangeable in that 3, 4, and 5, in my opinion. But I think 1 and 2 all day are Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, right? So if you have the number 2 pick in your Madden Creative League or Fantasy, or you're with your buddies, who are you taking number 2? I'm taking Josh Allen. All day, every day. He's got the size. He's got the frame. He's got the arm strength. He's got the accuracy. He's got the guys rallying behind him. He's a good locker room guy. He's just a good human being. That's the top. Look at the top 10 guys. They're all great locker room guys. All their teammates would go through walls and go to war with these guys, man. You rarely hear bad things about any of these guys in the top 10, in my opinion, right? So, and number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. The playoff record, the regular season record. His accuracy in big games. He's great. Outside of this Super Bowl, he's been pretty much perfect his entire NFL career. He never misses the playoffs. He wins the AFC West every year, even though now it's a lot more competitive. It's not going to be like Brady in New England, where that whole division was a complete trash bag for a decade. I think the Broncos and Chargers are going to be perennial contenders for the foreseeable future. And if Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, I don't know if the Chiefs make the playoffs, honestly. A lot of what ifs in Kansas City this year. What's going on with Rashee Rice? What's going on with Isaiah Pacheco? Is Travis Kelce cooked, right? A lot of question marks there. So, there it is, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My top 10. We got Goff, Stafford, Stroud, Jaden Daniels, and Herbert just outside my top 5. Top 5, we got Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. That's the best list there is. That's the list, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Peace.